want to get better, but I'm hearing music, right? And I don't think some of these situations are getting better. 100 gigs on your head top, right? Drake, I hear you. I hear you dropping a little bit of everything. You're giving us some rap. You're giving us some island vibes. You're giving us some house music, right? And you're still running back to Atlanta, right? And you're still working with these artists that Kendrick pointed out that you're using to create your own sound, to make sure that you fit in, to showcase that you're really about the culture. And I get it. You want to prove that you're worthy, and I feel like it's already been proven. Right? Although you haven't been an advocate for anyone in the culture, in the community, you never stood alone. You never stood on your platform and stood for anything besides yourself. I guess you're welcome into the culture. I guess we can consider you one of us. Although we don't have the same opportunities, although we don't have the same luxuries as a half Jewish man would, coming from Toronto, Canada. Right? But 100 gigabytes on your head top, 100 gigs, And Drake is continuing to put out new music. Drake is continuing to put out uh content. Right? He's giving us the video footage. He's giving us the behind the scenes clip. And as a hip hop head, you gotta respect it. As a hip hop head, you gotta respect the past, the present, and the future. As a hip hop head, when you looking at these visuals, when you looking at the actions that are taking place to create these monumentous records, when you're seeing the moves, when you're seeing the blueprint, when you're hearing how Drake creates, when you're seeing how he's getting it done, different moments, special conversations, just a little bit, just a little glimpse, a little peek on the inside of what's really happening behind that curtain. I feel like we should appreciate those moments, right? Because we don't really know what's going on. We don't really know how these records come together. And Drake, showing us that as listeners, as fans, then we gotta take our hat off and we gotta appreciate that, right? And it definitely humanizes Drake. It makes him more normal. It takes him off of that pedestal. It takes him away from that ego trip that he's been fumbling over for the last couple of months. It just takes him down a notch to people like me, to the normal, to the average Joes that can relate to the regular things that go on in your life. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was a good look for Drake. I appreciate that look from Drake. But everything that glitters isn't gold. Everything that looks a certain way might not be what they appear in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? And so we get that. We get that. We get those intimate moments. We appreciate those intimate moments. And I see the strategy in it. I see why you made that move. I can see the technicalities in the actions that you're taking, Drake. But damn, I'm tired of talking about Drake. I'm tired of like dissecting what he's doing, whether it be on Instagram. I'm tired of dissecting what he's doing, whether it be musically, whether it just be the content, the way he's talking, just how he views himself. I'm tired of dissecting it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that exhaustion, right? It's just that tiredness that you kind of get from the energy coming from the Drake camp, right? And it's because they don't want to take a rest. It's because they got the ego. It's because they feel like they got to keep going. Or is it because that big $400 million deal is making sure that he continues to work, is making sure that he continues to put in the work when it comes to certain things. So I feel like Drake has an obligation, right? He definitely has an obligation because he's making sure that he fulfilled those obligations, because he released this piece of content on IG, and then he gave you the website to go to. But now it's on the streaming services. So that says a lot about how this content was released. And we think about the Taylor Made freestyle, that was AI. Like they wasn't able to make no money off that. When we think about some of the records that he did that wasn't able to be monetized by the record labels, that was a fumble, that was a miss, right? And so the record label is making sure that now that he's releasing new content, now that he's releasing new music, they'll be compensated as well because this is Drake. Even after the beef, people are still listening to him, listening to see if he's going to make any songs that are noteworthy, listening to see if he's going to do anything right, if he's going to turn up a bit, if he's going to change the narrative, which he really hasn't, but we're running to that music to kind of see what he has in store for the fan base. And the record labels want to make sure they get compensated from that, right? And I like it's up, right? I like the Young Thug feature. I like the 21 Savage verse, right? And to be honest, when we think about this 3-pack that he dropped, all the features are pretty much outdoing him, right? So, I mean, he's rapping a little bit on It's Up, but that's definitely like a club banger. I feel like Drake kind of is understanding when to be lyrical and when not to get too lyrical. And 21 Savage, he's more simple with his bars. He's more, straight to the point with what he's saying. So you don't really got to think around it. But at the same time, the energy he's saying it with, the conviction he's saying with, and even what Young Thug is doing on his hook, it's really making you believe, it's really making you buy into what they're saying is up. It's up for all the ops. So although Drake did create a good song on this 3-pack, which I think it's up, I definitely believe the features overpowered what he's doing. Right? Housekeeping, with Lotto. It's house music. You know what I'm saying? It's not hip hop. So at the same time, I can appreciate it for those rap lyrics being there. I can appreciate her for being on the track. But at the same token, we got to flip a coin, heads or tails. And when it comes down to it, the house music is tails and that hip hop is heads, right? And we got to keep our head above water. Tails gonna drown. So when I listen to the house music, it's cool, but I don't love it because it's not hip hop. I can't really get into it. I could probably play it a couple times. I probably could listen to it in a different setting, but when it comes to listening to it by myself, when it comes to turning it on, when I'm with other people, in my car, I doubt that will be the case. And blue, green, red, right? The island vibes. I enjoyed that too. Cause I think he was in his island bag. He was in the reggaeton bag. I can't, downplay that. I was hearing it, and that was a song that I could hear. That was a song I could digest. It's Up, it was a song that I could digest. So I feel like these two songs are good. Housekeeping, that was the only one that I wasn't as appreciative of, but I can respect it from what he's doing and giving us all these different vibes. But like I'm hearing the other podcasters say, like I'm hearing, the internet say, like Drake said he was taking over the summer 2024. And these are the vibes he's giving us, but it doesn't seem like anything has stuck. Nothing has glue. Nothing has tape. Nothing has staying power. Nothing has a true impact. And when we look at summer 2024 and the statement that he made when he posted that picture of the samurai fighting all types of armies, he's still fighting a battle, a uphill battle that he isn't winning. And some would say that, all these people in the industry want Drake to fail. It's not even that we're tired of his success. We appreciate his success. We appreciate someone showing the elders of hip hop and the newer generation how to have longevity in the industry. We appreciate his example. But at the same time, the way he's releasing these songs after everything has gone on, I just think it's just not landing well, and it's just not doing what it needs to do to kind of give him a different light and give him a different trajectory. I feel like everything from here on out, or everything he's been doing on out, it's kind of been on the downslide, on the downturn. And when we come to the 100 GB on your head top, you know, I feel like it's leveling him out, right? Because now we're not getting the Camila Cabella features. Now we're not getting the Gordo features. Now we're not getting the Sexy Red. We kind of getting a little bit more serious with the Young Thug and 21. We getting a little bit more serious with the Blue, Green, and Red. Housekeeping, I feel like that's still on the Gordo tip. That's one of the throwaways from the album that he probably just kept for himself. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he's getting a little bit more serious about the stuff that he's dropping. But at the same time, if he can really just dial in and deliver lyrically, I think that's what would make a big difference because he's making songs, right? He's making songs for the ladies, which Blue, Green, and Red I have no problem with. He's making the house music, you know, for people who enjoy that type of music. You know, he gave us It's Up for the rap fans, for the hip hop fans, but to me, not really hip hop, just more rap, more just upbeat. You know what I'm saying? More like a club banger that you'll listen to when you out and about and be like, damn, this shit kind of hard. But nothing like rapidy rap, nothing like really hip hop, nothing that the real hip hop heads can sit back and listen to and just kind of enjoy.